Alright, good evening. My name's Matthew DiFranco, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to drive a stick shift car. Now, first of all, I think stick shift is definitely an important skill to learn, regardless of who you are and what car you drive, just because it's always good to know extra skills, and especially if you're out with your friends one night and maybe they're out drinking and you took one of their cars and you're left as the designated driver, and then you got to drive their car home. But if you don't know how to drive stick shift, they might risk driving drunk and perhaps putting your life and their lives in danger. Now, manual transmissions are becoming less common, but I think that every single person should know at least or have a general idea of how to drive stick shift, simply because it could come in handy at times that you don't expect for unplanned events. I've grown up around cars my entire life. The first time I ever drove on the main road after I got my learner's permit was actually in a stick shift truck. And my dad owns an auto shop, so basically been doing stuff in the auto shop all the time, pretty much my whole life, learning how to fix stuff and learning how different cars work and all that stuff. Another thing that's really nice about manual transmissions is normally they tend to be cheaper. So a study done by CJ Automotive shows that Jeep Wranglers are $1,400 cheaper if you get the manual transmission versus the automatic transmission. That's really important because it's $1,400, and that's a pretty decent amount of money right there. And if you could save that just by learning how to drive stick shift, which in my opinion is a lot more fun and gives you that really road to mind connection, you could be saving money and having a better driving experience. Also, another study done by EV shows that manual transmissions are actually better on fuel because the engine doesn't have to work as hard to shift the gears, which is really nice. Now, a manual transmission is basically the same thing as an automatic transmission, just the driver is the one shifting the gears instead of the transmission actually doing it for you. Now, the only difference is you have a stick shift, presuming your car steering wheel is on the left side, which most cars are in America because that's the law. So you'll be driving, so your left hand will be on the steering wheel and your right hand will be shifting the gears. And then on the ground, you'll have your gas pedal, your brake pedal, and then your clutch pedal. So when you want to drive, you're going to push the clutch in, move the shifter all the way over and put it into first gear. And you're going to very, very slowly let off the brake and then very slowly release the clutch while feeding the gas pedal, just light taps, feathering the gas pedal just a little bit until the vehicle starts moving. And then once the vehicle's moving, you'll be driving, and the RPMs will climb just a little bit. And then you can let off the gas pedal, push the clutch in, and then shift the gear into second gear. And then you release the clutch, and then you get back on the gas pedal, and so on until you work up to the top gear, depending on how fast you want to go. Now, slowing down, pretty much the same thing, just in reverse. All you're going to do is say I'm in fifth gear, going 70 miles an hour on the highway, my exit's coming up on the right, and I need to go down to 50 miles per hour. So what you're going to do is you'll be driving, and then, so you're in fifth gear, you're going to slowly put the brakes on just a little bit, and you're going to notice that the RPMs are going to drop. So in a manual transmission car, when the RPMs drop, the engine probably stall out if it goes too low, and that's the last thing you want on a highway. So you'll go from fifth gear, push the clutch pedal in while slowly pushing the brakes and slowing down, letting off the gas pedal completely, very gently touching the brake, and then pushing the clutch pedal all the way to the floor, and then moving the shifter from fifth to fourth. And then you'll let off the clutch and you'll see the RPMs climb just a little bit because of the speed you're going. Then you'll do it, slow down again, and then you'll do the same thing and then shift down into third. And now I'm going to show you a demonstration that I did in my truck. Alright, there in the video you can see that I was sitting at a completely stopped position. I went ahead and pushed the clutch pedal all the way down, put the gear all the way into first, gently released the clutch pedal while giving it some gas, and I was moving. Now, what's really important to take away from this is that learning stick shift obviously is going to take practice. You're going to need to work on it, and it's obviously not something that you're going to pick up right away. It took me probably a solid couple hours to get completely familiar with it and pretty much get a really good grip on it and really understand how the whole thing works. But once you do that, you continue practicing, and then you can add in like rev matching, downshifts, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of makes you feel like a Formula One driver sometimes. It really is a good skill to learn for everybody. I really think that even if you're not ever planning on driving stick shift, it's still a good skill to learn just in case. You never know what kind of a pinch you're going to find yourself in. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and appreciate it. Take care now.